Alright, we left off where we were answering the question about diacritics for the Latin-based script. You just look and see, are there funny little accent marks, or are they just the plain letters? Yes or no? And you click those. And then 12g, you will probably often skip this because a lot of the languages loaded into the drop-down menus are not flagged for standardized orthography. If you do get this question, then you have to basically decide, is this book going to cause problems because maybe it's written in an older orthography that's no longer acceptable, either in the schools or by the government, or just by general consensus, and it would need to be revised. That's the main thing that we want to know from this question. Whether the orthography is okay overall or if it's going to need significant editing. The content may be wonderful, it's folk tales collected from the 1970s, but the orthography underwent a standardization process in the meantime, and now the spellings or the way of writing it from that 1970s book is not going to be acceptable in our times, and it would need to be updated. Then you would click this. If overall it looks good, it looks pretty standard, that's what people usually use, then you would click yes. Now for a lot of languages, you won't even know. If you are not familiar with the language, it'll be very difficult for you to tell if the orthography, the writing system, the spelling system is conforming to the official spelling system for that language or not. If you are not a fluent speaker in that language, you need to just click unknown. It is better to click unknown than to give a wrong answer here out of ignorance. So certainly for your major languages in your countries that you are familiar with, and you are familiar with what is the outdated way of spelling things or writing things and what is the new standard, then yes, you can very quickly judge this just by glancing through the orthography and through the pages and looking at the way things are spelled in general. But otherwise, do not hesitate to click unknown if you're not sure or if it's with an unfamiliar language. And again, a lot of times you'll even skip this question altogether, which I'm sure you will be happy to do. Alright, now that we've entered 12, all of the sub-questions under number 12 for our first language, we had told Tangerine that it was a bilingual book. So now we are getting ready to enter for the second language. Alright, so I think we said we were in Kenya. Perhaps this was a bilingual book between Swahili and English, in which case English is, we're not going to consider it a Kenyan language of origin, but non-indigenous European. Here are your choices for all of these: European or Arabic from the Middle East, which you may find for some of those. If your world language is not on there, you can always click other. But let's click English. It's not asking us to fill out any of these other drop boxes because there's only one choice in them anyway, so you don't have to click through them all. If it is asking you to choose, it will say please select, please select. So if you don't see please select, then you know you're done and you can move on. Since it is English, it's not going to ask me the orthography question. You can see already it says not applicable. So we're going to automatically skip some of these questions just based on our selection here. Again, if Tangerine is skipping it for you, don't worry about it. Just be happy that you're getting through the survey even faster. You can see as I was talking, it went flash, flash, skipping some things. Don't worry about that. If it's skipping, just be happy. English is usually written in the Latin-based script. It usually does not have diacritics. So that's probably what the case would be here. Now all of that flash, flash, flash was actually for the third language. Since we said it was only bilingual, not multilingual, we got to skip over all of the questions for language 3. So again, if your tablet starts flashing screens and not letting you answer, it's just moving on. Don't panic. That's probably because you told it that you didn't need to answer those questions. And you can just be happy that you are ready to move on. So we will pick up in the next video with question 13.